Hey buddies, it's been a while, just checking in. We're doing quick mental health check-in, some things that I've been just rambling about mentally. I want to ramble to you out loud and in real time. So let's walk and talk and walk with me. I want to know some thoughts and opinions on this topic that's been kind of mulling over in my mind. Some of you guys may know, people who are into astrology. I know some people are not into astrology, find astrology irritating, but we are in the age of Aquarius, I think. I know Pluto has moved into Aquarius, and a lot of astrologers have been speaking on this phase of truth-telling. And I feel like we've witnessed it a bit here and there, right? Like the Katt Williams interview on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. That has been a huge topic. And subsequently after that, we saw Monique. The Monique talk about her truth as well, her POV. These are both great comedians and storytellers, actors that have been in the game, that I feel like have represented our communities for decades. We love them, we revere them, and to see them kind of expose the industry, I've been feeling this kind of foreshadowing of the dismantling of a lot of these industry conglomerates that have had a chokehold on society for so long. And now people are coming out, talking about the experiences in the entertainment industry, which I think is really great and insightful. Like, we should have more people, especially more veterans in the game, talk about their experiences, because it helps guide the generations to come to have a better understanding of what they are, subjecting themselves to, and what they might possibly go through and experience. And I think that's very important. So I'm very appreciative and very, excited. Not excited, but I'm tuned in. I'm engaged whenever somebody speaks about their experiences, especially in the entertainment industry, since there are only so few of us who actually make it in that space. But I honestly have not watched the entirety of both interviews, but I have seen enough hot clips and viral moments to pretty much assess what's been going on. And again, when you see the reaction from the people who've been called out by Katt Williams, the other comedians and the other entertainers who he alleges have, been inducted in some of these like high profile, high society groups like the Illuminati, and I forgot the black, I forgot what the group was that he mentioned. It was like this black elite Masons group or something like that. But it's very interesting, his alleged take on how he lost out on some opportunities because he didn't want to sacrifice or sell his soul or engage in sexual deviant acts. Completely commend it, because at the end of the day, no matter who you are, I think it's important to be able to lay your head down at night knowing that decisions that you've made aren't going to come back and haunt you. And everybody is built different. Some people can handle certain things and other people can't. And it's important to know and be in tune with who you are when navigating life, career, finance, love, knowing these important like idiosyncrasies and having your morals grounded and rooted in your beliefs, I think, are very important. So that way you don't get lost in the sauce. You don't get stuck in a space that you feel like will compromise who you are. But what was interesting about Monique's, sorry, I just had a big breakfast. But what was interesting about Monique's story, right, and her session on Club Shay Shay, just like Katt Williams was the fallout, was the response from other comedians like D.L. Hughley, and then even her son, who's rebuttaling her claims as a mother. Interesting enough, unlike Katt Williams, Monique has continuously responded to both people like D.L. Hughley and her son, which I'm a little bit conflicted about, because at the end of the day, you know, speaking your truth is important, but sometimes I think it's important to just speak your truth, lay it out there, and whatever the response is, you know, just accept that response as well. You don't have to overshadow everybody else's, you know, truth as well, because at the end of the day, what her son has experienced, that's his perspective, that's his truth. Whatever D.L. Hughley has experienced, that's his perspective, his truth. I feel like Katt Williams has done a good job of just laying it out, saying what he had to say, and not responding to anybody else, because at the end of the day, his experience is his experience. And that leads me to segue into the next part of this conversation. Another thing that's been on my mind heavily is I feel like we need to normalize not having your favorite celebrity that's talented, that's gifted, that's skilled, be likable. I think we need to start to humanize a lot of these idols. And I don't like to idolize anybody, but I know a lot of people do. Stan Twitter, social media, fandoms are on a complete skyrocketing rise. People are obsessed with immersing themselves in their favorite celebrities' life and choices. And I think that is incredibly, incredibly toxic. But as entertaining as it can also be, I think it's important to create some type of division, some type of objectification where you're not so personally invested and involved, where you feel like you can dictate what your favorite can do and how it affects their career. I mean, we can take the recent like sensationalized stories of like Nicki Minaj, right? And even Kanye West. A lot of people love both artists, but when it comes to certain things that they go through that get put out in the media, everybody then creates this division where they want to pick a side and they want to dictate what is healthy and what's not, and what's an appropriate response to certain issues. And I think that it's very, very regressive when we forget that we ourselves are all human beings. And you got to think about it. Are y'all likable when you're going through certain issues? When you're upset, when you're frustrated, when you feel like you've been done dirty and nobody really knows all the details about why you feel the way you feel, and yet you're lashing out? Are you guys always likable when, you know, things that you feel like you deserve, you haven't received? Are you guys always likable when you're confronting somebody about past hurts and past transgressions? I don't feel like a lot of us have that ability to self-reflect and see how we come across when we're fighting for our injustices. And I feel like that's something that we see a lot, you know. Gone are the days where celebrities kind of kept quiet and just bit the bullet when things weren't going in their favor, or ill-informed stories were put out about them. And I think that's very, very unfair as well. It's just something to think about, something to reflect on. Don't get me wrong, I also get agitated when I see sometimes these celebrities continuously drone on about issues, and it takes away from some of the great things that they've contributed to society and pop culture. But I love to mute somebody, okay? When somebody is on my social media timeline ranting and raving, I love to hit the mute button, because at the end of the day, we don't know what they're going on about. We don't know the details of their issues. We just know that they're venting and they are expressing themselves. They might be looking for people who, you know, can align with them, can be their allies, speaking to their fan bases, all those things. But that's when it becomes really toxic and tricky, because your fans start to take on your issues and your problems, and they project that into the atmosphere, and they don't know the full details other than just what they think they know. But I think it's important to create the separation. Your faves do not need to be likable. They're human beings just like us. They're allowed to express themselves. They're allowed to rant and rave and say some disparaging, unfavorable things. And I think as long as they're not consistently or diabolically hurting people or communities, it's okay. It's okay to just look past certain things, call them out if you want to, but moving on, I think, is important, and I don't think we do that enough. But with this new phase of exposing and truth-telling, I think it's in all of our best interest to just show a little bit more grace to ourselves and to others. That's my little anecdote for today. I hope you guys are able to like, comment, subscribe, and also just share your opinions. Peace.